fight, we want the... Hi, this is Rich from HRHTV. We've got Carl Willits from Memoriam with us tonight, ahead of a Memoriam set at HRH Metal. Carl, thanks for joining us.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, new album coming out end of March.
Absolutely, 23rd. Yeah.
Quick turnaround from the last one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Lots of sort of momentum behind Memoriam. Tell us a little bit about that album and what fans can expect from it.
Okay, yeah, so that's a very good starting point to work from. The Silent Vigil being released on Nuclear Blast Records on the 23rd of March, I am led to believe. Is, as you say, a very, very quick turnaround from our debut album, which came out around about the same time last year. For the Fallen was our debut album. So we're a band that are all about moving forward at an incredibly fast pace. We're a band that's trying to create that old school death metal feel and try and recreate those feelings and vibes that were involved when we first started out as a band. Back in the late 80s, we moved at a very fast pace, and virtually every other year there was an album release. So we're all about trying to create those feelings of joy. We're in a place which we are very inspired musically. You know, for a number of years, I haven't written lyrics or vocals. So to be in this place and this privileged position to be able to write another album is a great place to be. We were actually already in the process of writing songs for the next album. Yeah. What we're trying to do is not dwell too much on what we're doing and to try and move forward. We're very aware that life is short from our experiences of losing people that are close to us within the industry, you know, Martin in particular. Yeah. That's led us to understand that you have to move forward and take advantage of the situation that is given to you and try and create as much positivity as we can possibly do. And we're really enjoying the pace that we're working at. You know, as I say, we don't try and overproduce what we're doing. We don't go back and rework it and try and take away or make it different, because we feel that, you know, old school death metal is all about that authenticity and that genuine emotion that's involved in the writing of a song. So we're really enjoying that process, and you know, kind of moving. Such a lot has happened to the band in such a relatively short space of time. You know, with the band's previous I was in, you know, there was lots of, you know, a new album was written in maybe every 5 years, you know, and we maybe did half a dozen shows a year, which was great. Really enjoyed that. You know, it was fantastic. I can't detract from the experience I've had in the past, but to be in this position at this point of our lives is a real privilege. And we owe that to our fans and followers and the people that are really into us, and we're just taking every moment that we can for what it is, and doing it on our terms, which is a beautiful thing.
And just sort of thinking about the live aspect of Memoriam, obviously, you know, you fronted Bolt Thrower for all those years. Now you're with a different group of guys, Scott and Andy and Frank. How's the vibe on stage different? Is it noticeably different? Is it different in the, you know, when you're practicing, you're getting ready for these shows?
Yeah, that's a really good question to ask. With Bolt Thrower, we grew and developed over a long period of time, and always got to the point with the band towards the latter stages that we did only do a handful of shows a year, which were very special gigs, you know, and because we didn't do much, that made it that's much more special. And the bond between the band was something that was a very strong thing. But beyond the band, there was no real kind of like social kind of activity. You know, we kind of got together to rehearse for the gigs, then we did the gigs, and then we probably wouldn't see each other for 6 months or whatever, you know, until the next shows came up. But with Memoriam, there's a very definite, strong bond of friendship involved in what we're doing, and Memoriam is all about touching base with the past to make sense of where we're at this point in our lives, and in the process of moving forward. So working with Memoriam at the initial stages, why I wanted to do this was to kind of create some joy.
Yeah.
To create some happiness, some kind of like some light in an otherwise following the death of Martin. And the first thing that came to mind was I want to do a band. I want to create something new. I want to create something different. I want to work with Whale. Whale has been a friend of mine for 30 years, and you know, I always felt that I owed it to him to do something creatively with him again. There was almost unfinished business there. So that level of friendship is something you can't buy. Yeah. You know, it's a genuine kind of like brotherhood that we've got. And of course, Frank, you know, who's involved with the band, you know, he had to be the bass player in Memoriam. We've been friends for 30 years. Often had those, you know, Benediction came on tour with Bartholomew many times, and we've always had those social evenings out when you're in the pub at 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of like you've been in the pub at 1 o'clock, so yeah, we've got to do a band together. But you just never do because life takes over and other things kind of take control, and our directions were never the same. So this was an opportunity to do something with some really, really close friends. Which makes things very different. Scott's come along as well. You know, he's a total new to us. You know, in many respects, he brings a total different sphere of influence into what we're doing. But he played with Benediction live, South American tour, so he knew Frank very well. Quite difficult. It's a character. So yeah, the bond between us is something really special, and I think that kind of comes across in the chemistry when we play live. I think people can see that we genuinely enjoy doing what we're doing together, and they feed on that, and we feed back off that. So in that respect, it really works well. Yeah.
And just lastly, like, what are your plans for Memoriam? You know, going forward, what do you think is going to be the future over the next 2 or 3 years for the band?
Future. Who knows what the future lies? Yeah, that's one thing. You know, you just don't know what's around the corner. So we just anticipate enjoying what we're doing. Doing things on our own terms is really important to us. So we're not really driven financially. We're driven by doing the things that we want to do, and playing places that maybe we've never played before, and doing shows that maybe we've played before but we really enjoyed. That's really what drives us. And yeah, we've got the new album coming out, which will take us through 2018. Then following that, we're going to have the next album, which we're already in the process of writing. So that'll take us through the following year. And then we would really like to maybe do an album of cover versions, which was the original concept of doing the band. So yeah, there's a long process for Memoriam. There's a long, bright future ahead for all of us, as long as we survive.
Which always helps. Well, Carl, thank you very much for your time. This has been Rich at HRHTV. Carl Willett from Memoriam. Have a great show, Carl, and thanks for joining us. Cheers. Thank you.
We will fight!